Welcome to the latest episode of Thylabites. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the 1953 Ma tiger sighting, or as I like to call it, the 1953 Ma thylacine incident. Why? It's got everything. It's got intrigue, confusion over facts. It's got the government turning up at someone's place and saying, don't tell anybody anything. So let's get in and have a look at it and see what it's all about. The references for this particular episode, two newspaper articles from 1953, the Hobart Mercury, and another one a couple of days later from the Adelaide Advertiser. Both of these were sourced from the National Library of Australia, and also www.trueauthority.com, which had some of the backstory, a well-known cryptozoological site. So this particular sighting or incident involved a Mr. B. Ma, and it happened in March of 1953. It happened near Scottsdale in the northeast of Tasmania. So we'll just have a look at the map to see what that looks like. We'll ask to find where Scottsdale is. There it is in the northeast of Tasmania. So let's start having a look at some of the three H's. We'll just zoom out a little bit and we'll have a look at habitat. You can see here the X's mean cleared land. The horizontal lines are rainforest, so you wouldn't expect to see thylacines in here, but these little dots here are dry sclerophyll forest. So cleared and dry sclerophyll, good thylacine habitat. So let's turn that off now, and we'll have a look to see what bounties are actually taken in the area. And here you can see that there were bounties. So the small yellowy greeny ones, they are one bounty was claimed from that particular area. The red ones mean that 5 bounties are actually taken. So there were bounties. So that means that there's good history in that particular area. What about human interaction? We'll turn the bounties off and we'll have a look at post-1936 sightings in that particular area. You can see here, again, there are sightings. These small ones, 1 sighting. The bigger ones, 5 sightings. So that basically says the 3 H's for this particular incident all stack up. So let's get back to our presentation. So this particular article appeared in the Hobart Mercury in 1953, the 28th of March, and it tells the story that Mr. B. Ma basically caught an animal that was 4 feet 3 inches long, 2 feet 6 inches high, in a rabbit snare. He then basically clubbed it to death and then took it back to his house. It was at that stage, after he took it out from the sack, that he realised that he had actually killed a thylacine, or allegedly killed a thylacine. It also says that there were thylacine footprints that measured up to 5 inches in length and width in the area immediately leading up to the particular incident. And that they thought that there were potential bushfires that were actually driving the thylacines from the normal sort of areas. So we have to also remember that this is 23 years after the thylacine was believed to be extinct. So some 2 days later, so this one was actually in the Adelaide Advertiser, they're basically saying that the state fauna board had ruled that the animal was actually a tiger cat rather than the Tasmanian tiger or the thylacine. So basically that was the colloquial term for the spotted tail quoll. And the backstory. So here we have 1953, after an animal starts chewing the heads of rabbits that lie in Mr. Ma's traps in northeastern Tasmania, he sets a special trap for what he believes to be a dog. On the Monday morning, he comes across what sounds like a dog struggling in the trap. He clubs the animal on the head with a branch. He takes it home and skins it. Right, news then spreads, and not before long, the Northeastern Advertiser runs the story, the Tasmanian tiger killed in South Springfield. One day after the story runs, he receives a visit from 2 government officials, and this is where the plot thickens, asking him to see the skin. They confiscate it, threaten him, and tell him to tell no one, and finally add that he could be going to jail, or could go to jail, for killing a thylacine. It then appears in the paper the day after that they believe that he actually had killed and skinned a quoll. So the facts: an animal was snared, and it was in a rabbit trap. He reported it to be about 1.3 metres long. It's unclear here as to whether that was a nose to tail measurement or a nose to butt of tail, which is more common for quoting thylacine measurements. It was reported to be about 750 millimetres high, right, or 2.5 feet high. The authorities basically claimed that it was a spotted tail quoll, or Docerus maculatus, or erroneously called tiger cat in those days. And that's what one of those bad boys looks like. So could Mr. Ma have confused a thylacine with a large male spotted tail quoll? Well, it seems a bit interesting to say that he actually clubbed what he thought originally was a dog and then shoved it into a sack, and that through that process he didn't realise that he'd clubbed the thylacine. So who knows? So what do you all think? Is this famous sighting, was it a tiger or a quoll? Maybe even something else? Be really interested to hear what your thoughts are. That's it for this episode of Thylobites. Talk to you soon.